Hello, welcome back. For those of you who have been here before and are quite familiar to my workshops, thank you so much for being here and joining this morning. And for those who have not been here before, welcome. My name is Mimi. I'm the Account and Training Manager here at Focal. Today we'll be speaking about Matterport. Good, you guys can hear me. That's perfect. Thank you guys. Thank you. Today we'll be speaking about Matterport 360. The reason we're speaking about Matterport today, some of you may not have been approached to do Matterport. Some of you may have, and some of you may already be doing Matterport 360 sort of outside of Focal, and some of you may have no idea what it is. So we're going to try and sort of cover all areas here. As per usual with these workshops, it's not a walkthrough tutorial per se. There's plenty of that stuff online. It's more of why we do it here at Focal, and what to expect really. And so let me just share this with you. Cool, you guys can all hear me and see me. That's great. So what we're going to do as well today is, obviously this is a Matterport 360 session, so obviously please do ask any questions that you have regarding Matterport. However, the Q&A is still open to just generic photography questions, or on previous workshops, if you've had a question that wasn't answered, then please feel free to ask it today and I'll try to answer it for you. This is Matterport 360. Obviously we spoke about View-Eat 360 in the past, so most of our existing network are doing View-Eat 360, offering 360 virtual tours to our clients. So if you've missed that workshop as well, I've posted the YouTube link. They are all there and the website is updated regularly. The sessions from this week unfortunately won't be up until next week, but yeah. So some of you are really familiar with View-Eat. Some of you again already do it. This is a more sort of prestige, more high-end product for the clients, and most of our network is doing View-Eat 360. A very small percentage of our network is doing Matterport 360. So again, if you've heard nothing about it, either from your recruitment manager or from your territory manager, then please don't worry. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, obviously, with the current situation that's going on in the world. We do imagine that 360 tours are going to be more common practice. So just so you're aware. So what are the Matterport 360 tours? You can understand the work, understand the layout and the flow of the property, and feel like you're actually at the property. So it's a very high-end product where you actually feel like you're at the property. For the estate agents, it engages the viewers for longer. So what it is sort of like an actual virtual viewing, and you're actually able to capture more of the property with Matterport. So show you a little video here. Yeah, so this is just an example of what the Matterport looks like if you've never seen it before. It gives a really nice dollhouse view. You go up and down certain levels. You can also measure things if you need to, but we still do expect you to measure your own floor plan when you're, if you are using Matterport. You can also highlight features of the room, which is quite nice if the agent wants to do that. And then obviously there's different floors as well, so it will create this beautiful, really cool sort of dollhouse view. Okay, so this is now for smart viewing. For those of you who don't know what smart viewing is, it's when the agent is showing the client, or sorry, when the agent is showing potential buyers the property. So it's a platform that they use to interact with the client and walk through the property. So yeah, so that's how they show it with the smart viewing platform. For those of you who are really eco-minded, it saves time, energy, and increases efficiency, and it helps the agents basically win more instructions and increase the number of leads. So yeah, this is sort of what the dollhouse view looks like, and what the floor, the view looks like once you create a Matterport tour. This is what it allows the agent to do. So it allows the agent to show 8 properties in 1 hour, which is completely life-changing. Yeah, so the carbon footprint, again, for those of you who are eco-minded, generated by 1 year of estate agency physical viewings is equal to 350,000 return flights from London to New York. So yeah, really interesting little fact there. So basically, you know, the point is it's saving a lot of time and money for the estate agents. Yeah, so it's the reason why I'm sort of discussing all of this with you guys is so that you understand, you know, from the agent's perspective, what they're expecting, why they've signed up for it, and you're also understanding why what we expect from you. So yeah. So here, I just want to show you guys just a bit slower tour. So this is a property that, from one of our photographers. So yeah, it always starts from the inside, by the way, and you can see that the hotspots, there's a lot more of hotspots compared to the view eat. You can literally sort of just walk anywhere in the property, and you know, it will take you there from the scan that it's doing. So yeah, so the video is the video quality is a bit condensed, but I don't know if you can tell, the quality is also much better for Matterport as well. For the stairs, I'll get into this in a second, but you always need to go up every 2 to 3 steps, preferably 2 is better. But as you can see here, you can sort of see every kind of little detail, which is sort of the point of it. It's like a real viewing. So yeah. Okay. So just to sort of get a bit more technical with you guys. So the camera that we use for Matterport 360 is the Ricoh Z1. So whereas the View Eat, any Ricoh is compatible. So the Ricoh Z1 specifically is compatible for the Matterport app, and that's the one that we recommend. Also, if you do have the Ricoh Z1, then you're able to fulfill both View Eat tours and both Matterport as well. The Z1, for those of you who don't know, is just a much higher quality camera. So yeah, it's in the higher end in the Ricoh range. Matterport is also for interior only. Unfortunately, the one downside to Matterport is that it doesn't capture light that well, or you know, really sunny light. So the property is always from the inside. The tripod height is at 4.5 feet. It's not too far off from the general photos and the View Eat. So photos, we say anywhere from 4 to 4.5 feet, and View Eat, we say 5 feet, 4.5 to 5 feet. So they're generally in the same range. The tour that I just showed you was at 4.5 feet. It just, doing it this way just offers a much cleaner, nicer flow, basically. So yeah, always start from the lowest level and then work yourself up. So in Matterport, you need to sort of label the floor levels as well. So first level always first, and then once you do the stairs, you'll make the hotspots for the stairs, and then once you're actually on the second level, that's when you label, that's when you tell the Matterport app that you're at the second level, and it will understand. As I said before, the stairs, you want to be going up every 2 to 3 stairs. And then something really interesting on Matterport as well is once you've captured windows and mirrors, you need to mark them. So you need to mark where they are. The reason for that is just due to the light situation. As I said before, Matterport is very sensitive with sort of reflections and too much light and things like that. So they actually do recommend, obviously we're in a situation where we don't want to be touching things and opening and closing blinds and curtains and stuff like that, but they actually do recommend to have little light or less light if it's too bright and sunny, because it's just, if there's too much light, it will sort of cause you know, some discrepancies when it's trying to understand what the layout of the property is. So yeah. Okay, cool. So sorry, the slides went back and forth. So yeah, I will open it up to a Q&A now. If you guys have any questions, please write them in the chat box. So I use Matterport, and it is very time consuming. Matterport suggests that a complex property may take up to a day to capture. How is this accommodated by Focal in allocation of time and costs? So good question. The Matterport is paid slightly more, but I've never heard of a property taking up to a day. That seems a little excessive. So if you could elaborate on that, that would be really good. So what kind of, you know, complex property is it, and that sort of thing. So yeah, that would be good. In reference to my time question, the property in question consisted of 9 separate levels with 5 staircases and was very intricate. It took me 4+ hours with around 150 hotspots. So if that's the case, then if you are doing a property like that, then the client will need to discuss a different plan with us, and we'll then discuss a different sort of payment plan with you, because that would definitely be considered more than one property in our books. Do you think some users may be put off by the 360 tours? I'm quite tech savvy and I find it very clunky and a pain to use and often don't complete a full tour. What are the advantages of this over video tours? So if you're talking about the estate agent showing them, as in that's the user. So again, as I said in the presentation, the estate agent will use a smart viewing platform to show the potential buyers the property. So obviously with video tours, you have very little control. So you can't go in and out. You can't go back to something. It's very, very little control. You have to basically just watch the video and that's it. The Matterport 360 tours, while the agent, you know, is sort of like, once they're in a kitchen or something, if the potential buyer has any questions to the agent, then they can just, the agent doesn't have to continue the tour. They can just stop there. They can look at certain things in the kitchen. They can go back and forth. Also, it gives a really, really good sense of the property. So the video tours, you're very, very limited, unfortunately. And obviously we don't expect you to, you know, videography is a whole different thing. So this is still in the photography sector. So we don't expect you to be a videographer, but that's a whole, you know, it's close to photography. It's like a cousin, but it's not the same at all. So that would be a whole other thing to do to navigate video tours. So yeah. Hi, I meant to ask this. Hi, Neil. I meant to ask this in the last session. I guess there will be times when the vendor has wall art that might present privacy issues like large portraits or decency issues not safe for work. Will post-production pick that up on both stills and 360. So really good question. The art, if they do have anything that they want to hide, they're going to need to hide that. Most of the time they do. If there's any issues, they need to treat it like an actual viewing. The images and everything is blurred out on the definitely the stills, so any faces or anything is blurred out. Automatically art won't be blurred out though, so yeah, if the vendor does have a problem with that, then they need to, it's their responsibility to address that and to hide that. And they will be very much aware, obviously, as we discussed last time, when you're there at the property and when you call, just to reiterate, you know, what you're there for. And they're very, very aware that there's a 360 tour. So if they do, you know, want to hide anything, which I'm sure has happened, or if they have any delicate information, then it's their responsibility to do so. The same would go for if they had a live viewing and somebody was in the house and they didn't want them to see something specific. So yeah. Is Matterport a requirement to get the job? No, it's not a requirement to get the job. As I said before, it's a very small percentage of our network that are actually doing Matterport. So yeah, it's not required at the moment anyway. Who knows? We're always evolving, right? So can the Ricoh Z1 be used for the pictures, or is it a separate camera? No, the Z1 or any Ricoh camera is a 360 camera, so definitely cannot be used for photos. Photos, the requirements are a digital SLR or a mirrorless camera. There seem to be two plans, so £7 per month and £55 per month, which is required. So if you are required to do Matterport with us, we will subsidize that for you. How many properties can you cover a day? So again, we get this question quite a lot. So it's an average of 1 hour per property for photos, floor plan, and View 360 tour. If you're talking about Matterport, probably add an extra half hour to 45 minutes to that. So per day, it depends on where you are in the country, how much you're traveling, etc. I use the Ricoh Theta V. Is this acceptable? No. So the Matterport, as I said before, is only compatible with the Ricoh Z1. So yeah. Is that 4.5 feet to the middle of the lens? Yes. Again, it's you know, you don't have to be too precise. If you just bring your tripod to 4.5 feet, that's fine. You don't have to, you know, measure it exactly or anything. How long does it take to capture a property in Matterport? So probably about half an hour. Hi Mimi, if we cannot capture the interior with Matterport, do we use View for the exterior, then swap back to Matterport for the interior? Sorry, I think you meant if we can only capture Matterport interior with Matterport. So really good question with this. So Matterport also offers you're not expected to do exterior with Matterport, but it also offers a general 360 tour, like photo, just like View. So if that's the case, and you absolutely do need to capture exterior for whatever reason, then you can just switch to that view in the app, in the Matterport app. But again, Matterport is just for interior, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. When there's sort of like a path to a shed or something like that that you need to get, if you do need to get that, then you know, the best thing to do really is do it on a day that's, you know, when the sun is setting or when it's not so bright. Okay, the Z1 is quite an investment at £900. Yes, so the Z1 is £900. We have, for people who are required to do Matterport with us, we have loads of discounts and payment plans and certain offers. they've changed a couple of times. So if you are asked to do Matterport, then please ask them about the fee and also about where and how you can get it for cheaper, because we can offer that for you. Are we required to take one 360 image per room for Matterport, or do we need to take additional, as it looks like the images are taken in doorways, etc.? No, so Matterport is completely different. You need to be taking images every, I think, 4 or 5 feet or so, something like that. So yeah, you need to be taking images all the time. Is Matterport typically request for high-end luxury properties and not very often requested? Really good question. So Matterport at the moment is just a contract with certain clients of ours. So it's not to do with the property, it's to do with the client, if that makes sense. So all of the clients, just like the View Eat. So for those of you who don't know, who aren't necessarily live on our system yet, so all the agents have signed a contract where all 360 tours need to be included in every single order. So if they've signed a Matterport contract, it will be the same with that. As with other photography types, do we still ask for all the lights to be on and doors open? Really good question. So with Matterport, actually, we would say to turn the lights off. So again, it's a completely different thing because it's really, really sensitive to the light and reflections and sun. So all the doors off, but yes, doors open. Doors open for 360 tours, doors closed for photos, generally speaking. How many scans photos does the Matterport need for each room? Really good question. So it would probably be several. When you are, it's hard to explain if you've never used the app before, but when you are creating the tour, you will see that it will tell you what spaces are missing. So it will tell you where else you need to go in order to capture the full room. And then once you do that, it literally gives you the picture of the full room. So if it's missing, if it has a little gap, or if it's missing, like let's say in a corner somewhere, then all you need to do is go to that corner, take the image there, and it will understand, and then it will create that for you. So yeah, it's very intuitive once you're using it, because you can actually see what you're doing, and you can see the tour as it's being made. How much would you spend on a Z1 camera? Again, really good question. It's 900, it retails at £900, but again, we have a massive discount and also payment plans that we offer if we do require you to do Matterport. Are you able to offer a rough idea of the percentage of property vendors that require this service? So basically, we only have Matterport in certain areas of the country at the moment. Again, you know, we are constantly, especially during this pandemic, we have evolved to do a lot more 360 tours. So you know, most of our current network now does 360, but there are only certain clients in certain areas of the country at the moment that do Matterport. So I don't know what area you're in, but it would only be relevant to you if you're in that area, and that's at the moment. I don't have the percentage at hand at the moment, but it's a very small percentage. Hoping to grow though, I think. So yeah, we'll see. Can we use the SC2 for Matterport, or do we need to invest again? No, so the SC2, the only camera that's compatible for Ricoh with Matterport is the Z1. So the SC2 is not compatible. For the trial, images of greater than 3 megabytes are, so sorry, I don't know that word. Surely you mean less than 3 megabytes. No, so the images should be anywhere between 3 and 8 megabytes. 3 megabytes is very small, so I don't know. Is the Matterport software cost covered by Focal Agent? Yes, it is. Again, that's obviously if we require you to do it. Is there a cheaper camera than the Z1 that would suffice? No, unfortunately not. Matterport can be used with iPad Pro 2020. Camera very successful. Is this acceptable? So no, we need you to be using a proper 360 camera, such as the Z1. Do we still take interior images in addition to the Matterport tour? So again, this is like anything in our system, so there will be cases where you might get a 360 order on its own. However, most of the time and most of the packs from the customers will require photos, floor plan, and a 360 tour. So it goes exactly the same with Matterport as it does with View8. So yeah, you will always need your regular photos. So the photos that you take will obviously go up from the estate agent, you know, on their website, on Rightmove, etc. The Matterport tour and the other View8 360 tour is for the smart viewing that they do individually with the client. So yeah, I hope that helps. Thank you guys so much. We're out of time for today. Let me just share my screen with you 1 second. Right, so again, yeah, we have our last training of the month just before Halloween. I can't believe it. On Friday, we'll be speaking about customer service. Again, that's going to be at 10 a.m. So you should receive the link for that. And then for the month of November, we'll sort of redo all of the trainings that we've done before. So, you know, you're welcome to join those. Hopefully we'll get the links over to you as well. But again, I have posted that YouTube channel, so feel free to take a look at that for any ones that you miss or anything that you just would like a recap over. So yeah, thank you guys so much for today. And I hope to see you Friday.